How's it going, folks? This is Joey of Underage Packers. We are just about 35 hours away until the Packers hopefully make their first selection of the NFL Draft. Today, I have three bold predictions for you over the next 3 days of the NFL Draft. I'm so excited. Anything can happen, as last year especially taught us. Let's drop right into it with bold prediction number one. The Packers will stay put at pick 29, but they will trade up in the second round. I think there's a lot of good players at positions of need for the Packers. They have really deep classes this year at offensive tackle, cornerback, and wide receiver once again. I think, if there's a player that they think is worth taking, they make their selection at 29. They see a player falling. Maybe there's a Denzel Mims like last year situation. Maybe it's Kadarius Toney. Maybe it's Rashad Bateman. Maybe it's Asante Samuel. There are so many possibilities here that could happen. Just players that they really like, that they think might not be worth necessarily taking at 29, but they think they can trade up pretty early to make a big step up in the second round. They have the draft capital to do it and select that dream player. So staying put at pick 29, but trading up from pick 62. It's also the possibility of Caleb Farley there in the second round if they think, you know what, we don't want to take the risk with the first rounder, but he's fallen into that 50, late 40s range, and they're thinking, man, let's get up. Let's not take a chance here. We really like this guy. We think he can be something special. Let's go up and get him. Next up, bold prediction number two, the Packers will take a total of 5 wide receivers and cornerbacks combined. They're going to triple dip at least one of these. I think wide receiver is more likely. They need more depth there for not only this year, but for the next year with everybody, every single wide receiver coming up on a contract year here. I think there's a lot of great wide receivers that I love, at least. Amir Smith-Marset, Diami Brown, Amari Rodgers. Those are all guys round 2 through 5, really, in that range that they really like. They're thinking, look, we don't need a guy in the 5th or 6th round to necessarily be too special this year, but if in 2 years he can be a very solid depth piece, that's a pick worth it. So I think they will use their triple dip on the wide receiver position. I wouldn't be surprised if they use that on cornerback as well. They also need some depth there behind Kevin Keene, as well as bringing in competition for Kevin Keene to hopefully find a long-term answer at cornerback number 2, bring in some depth behind Chandon Sullivan in the inside. So a lot of interesting options. Maybe they go cornerback round 1. I'd be more surprised if they went wide receiver than cornerback in round 1, but who knows what can happen. But either way, I think you'll see quite a dip in the wide receiver and cornerback pool from the Packers this year. And finally, we got to make something exciting for this last one. I've saved the biggest for last. The Packers will select another cornerback in the NFL Draft. Not at 29. Maybe they'll trade up for Mac Jones. Obviously, let's get up to that number 3 pick and get Mac Jones. You can never be too early on Jordan Love's hair or his replacement. You got to get ahead of that. But no, I think after losing Tim Boyle, the Packers always love to have a practice squad guy on the roster. Even last year when they had Tim Boyle and Jordan Love on the roster, they had a kid named Jalen Moorfield, something like that, from really small school. He was undrafted. He didn't make it to the roster or the practice squad, but they brought him in. They like to bring those guys in. Last year they had Tim Boyle and some other guy that's forgetting me now. But they've always traditionally had 2 guys on the roster and then 1 on the practice squad. So with Tim Boyle gone now, I would not be surprised to see them take a chance. Not that it's a risk, but they have plenty of 6th and 7th round draft picks. Who knows what happens if they trade down, trade up. But I wouldn't be surprised to see them take a guy like Felipe Franks in the 6th or 7th round, just to have another guy in there. Doubt that he makes the roster, but look, in the 6th and 7th round, you aren't getting anything too special. So we'll just have to see what happens. Maybe they like a guy that they know is going to go undrafted. But I'm just saying, don't be too shocked if they take a look at another quarterback here. That's all I got for you today. Let me know your bold predictions for the 2021 NFL Draft and the Packers in the comments down below. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Follow us on all the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.